What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here on Sleeve Media. Sorry to be so late getting this video out, but a lot of you alerted me on Twitter to the spyware in Magic Arena situation, and I'm still in Twitter jail for 2 more days. So over the weekend, it broke that there was some potential spyware being installed in your computer along with Magic Arena. Now, fortunately, attribution tracking and online marketing is one of the things I do every single day. So I know this software intimately, inside and out, and I'm going to be able to lay out exactly what's going on here so you know what the deal is. Is it spyware? Is it not spyware? And let's look at the initial issue here. So we see red shell spyware present in Magic Arena. Now, it is true that red shell was a legitimate spyware 10 or 12 years ago. However, this company, who is not affiliated in any way, happened to go by the same name. It's right in their FAQs. I've heard of Red Shell as a spyware. Is that true? No. In a brilliant move by our marketing department, Red Shell shares the name with a 14-year-old Trojan virus. Certainly, Red Shell does not, nor could it, execute any code on your computer outside of the game you are playing. Inside that game, all that is run is a simple postspec used for attribution and analytics, containing solely the information described in other parts of the FAQ. What does it post back? No, it does not post any personal information. Red Shell tracks device-based information about your computer. We do not collect any personal information about gamers. We don't collect names, emails, or addresses. Our service basically is this computer clicked on a link from this YouTube video, and that same computer played your game. We have no interest in tracking people or computers for the purpose of attribution. All of the data we do collect is hashed in an additional layer of protection. What is hash? It's a function that can be used to map data of arbitrary size to data of fixed size. It basically will encrypt it in a way. So what is attribution tracking? What is all this? So you are within your right, first of all, I want to say, to not trust one damn thing this company says. I mean, Cambridge Analytica probably told its customers that they were all doing very good things and they were on the up and up, and it turned out that they weren't. You have every right to want to protect your information, but in this world, in the reality where we live, there is an exchange of information in almost everything we do. And I think in this particular case, people are a little concerned. And in my experience, while I've never worked with Red Shell, I have worked with many pieces of software like this before. Companies who spend money on ads, whether they be on Facebook, YouTube, on Google Search or Ad Center, wherever they are, they have to know if they're getting a return on their investment. So when you click a link, traditionally, back in the day, you would click a link, go to a website, buy some stuff, and then you would see a thank you page. Traditionally, on a thank you page is where you're going to see a conversion script fire. That fires back to Google AdWords or Microsoft Ad Center or Facebook Pixels, fire back to Facebook, and tell that platform, hey, a conversion happened. Maybe this was the amount of money they spent. That's it. That's what a traditional conversion script fires back to Google. Now, in this case, I believe it's being used just like that. You may run, let's say, a set of ads, one with Gideon, one with Ileana, one with Jace, and you want to see which ad has a higher conversion rate. Now, traditionally, this is one thing that I'm wondering, is you could still fire a pixel without it actually being on your computer. So let's say you install the app, right? And then a thank you page comes up. It prompts a thank you page. That's normally what you might see. And on that thank you page is usually where the conversion script will fire. Now, if it's in-app, it's more reliable. If it's on a thank you page, like if you're on a mobile phone and it doesn't pop open a new page, you're not going to check that conversion. If you're on a computer that has a pop-up blocker, the thank you page doesn't pop up, you're not going to fire that conversion. If you're on a computer that has some sort of masking browser, those are getting more popular, you're not going to fire that conversion. So when they put it inside the software, they will get a very high rate of data back, conversion rate, basically. They'll be able to tell, hey, this Gideon ad worked best. Now let's set that to the default. You evenly split the ads, Gideon, Liliana, Jace. They, each ad gets 1 million impressions or 10,000 clicks. And at the end of the day, you see, well, the Jace ad converted at a higher rate. Let's set that to our default. That's how they're going to use this data. I don't personally think Wizards has any interest in being involved in anything nefarious with data collection. Now, you are well within your rights to opt out, and Red Shell has something to do so, but it's not as great as you might think. There are 2 ways to opt out. If a game you play is using Red Shell and you wish to opt out, you have 2 options. To opt out of web-based and cookie-based tracking, please do this, okay? Clicking this. However, Magic Arena, if you need to opt out of game-based tracking, please email us directly. Now, I don't know what happens at the end of this email, but I doubt it's very effective. If you, like others, just don't want it, I think your only real solution is to email and tweet and Facebook post to Wizards asking them to remove it. Companies like Elder Scrolls have removed it. Companies like BattleTech have removed it. It's not outside of the realm of possibility to have them back off using this. Now, I think using it makes them more effective at spending their ad revenue, and this is probably good. But you're entitled to feel exactly how you want. What really makes it worse, I think, is when you have a completely unprofessional reply from a man-child at Wizards of the Coast. This is a hot-button issue right now, especially with GDPR, which, if you're familiar with GDPR, I have clients that we've had to make certain changes to be compliant in the last month. I'm very familiar with GDPR. I would say, by my understanding of the regulations, this software is well within reason, doesn't violate GDPR because it's not collecting any personal information. Now, is it in Wizards' best interest to divulge or share this information when you download the software? Yes. Should they have made it crystal clear? We track this. This is what it looks like. Yeah. I don't think it really affects install rate at all. Certainly, it would have been far less damaging than this shitstorm. But then you have this chuckle fuck, Watsy Charlie, with a literal baby as his avatar, because that's how he talks. Red Shell is an ad attribution platform. We'll be using it to see which ads are working, which ads aren't. Full stop, right? Then he goes, it's not spyware, my dudes. Like this video right now, if you think Watsy Charlie should never, ever, ever be able to reply to customers on Reddit or anywhere else again. You can't make jokes about this type of thing in today's environment with data security, everything going on with Facebook, Cambridge Analytica, all that stuff. This is not a time to joke. This is a gross misjudgment. People are not like, hey, they're pissed. Then he goes on to explain, I think, okay, how the software works. And then he goes on with another boneheaded reply. Also, Red Shell is run by Innovert, a small company that's local to Seattle. We know these folks that work there. They built our forums and help us run those too. They're legit. Don't care what you think about them, Watsy Charlie. You've already told me you don't think this is a serious issue by replying to me as my dudes. Okay? And he has several other terrible replies through all these other ones by saying, like, it starts to get really icky for me when dude, you are way too casual. WHAAY, too casual when you're talking about people's data security. And again, why wasn't it publicly acknowledged until someone pointed it out? Because it's not really worth mentioning. Again, totally tone deaf. Idiot. People are pissed. There's 500 replies on here about what's going on with this software. They should have replied with simply what it does and let everyone know that using this type of software is an industry standard. And if you don't like it, here's how to opt out. Instead, he's trying to talk to us like we're dude bros at the local Starbucks using our parents' credit card to buy soy lattes. This is not... And he's awfully defensive. We did not anticipate a thread falsely claiming that it is literal spyware from 15 years ago, which it is not. Granted, it's good for us to discuss privacy and the facts situation and our philosophy around how we try to bring more players to the game. Look, Charlie, it doesn't matter how the thread started. You came in acting like it was no big deal, and people don't think their data security is no big deal. This is just another one of the many, many, many times WotC proves they hire people that have no idea what the hell they're doing and no professionality at all. This is bad for Magic Arena. I'm curious what you think in the comment section down below. Is this enough for you to not install it, or are you more of the mindset like, well, everybody tracks everything, so what am I supposed to do? Not enjoy software? That is kind of where I'm at, but I totally understand where people who are pissed off are coming from, and I totally understand people not wanting to have this on their system at all, because we don't know what Red Shell is going to do over the years. What if they change this and they start sending more information that we don't like? I definitely understand that fear and think it's very fair, a very fair one to have. And if you don't want this type of tracking, I think at this point, the best thing to do is to tweet at Magic Arena or Wizards of the Coast and just let them know, hey, there are other people that have removed this software and we would prefer you find a different way to track your marketing. There are other ways they can do it. And I think that's reasonable at this point. And given their laissez-faire response to it, I understand why people are pissed. That said, I think people are overreacting a little bit, especially, I know it's rich coming from me, but I think it's okay. You should feel okay with it. But if you don't, that's your decision, and I respect you.